it's something. I am back again today with another video, and on this video, I'm gonna just be speaking to you guys, telling you guys a little bit more about myself, because of course, as the more my channel evolves, the more you're gonna get to know me. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of information about that today. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Asante. I was born and raised in the Carolinas. I'm 21 years of age. Your boy is a Leo. Leo is my zodiac sign, which, by the way, us Leos, we're the best zodiac sign. We're loyal, compassionate, kind, and sweet. Until you cross us, disrespect us, piss us off, and then shit goes left from there. And I'm a vegan. I've been vegan for over 5 years now, and sometimes I bounce back and forth between veganism and vegetarianism, because depending on where I travel to, vegan options might not always be available, which is just one of many things that I learned being vegan. So that's a different story for another video. So yeah, I'm a real cool, chill, and laid back guy. I stay to myself most of the time. I'm quiet, reserved. And I do also have a fun side that obviously the fun side shows when I'm like around my friends, or when I'm doing like a project entertaining folks or things as such. Like if I had like if I was doing like an acting, like if we were acting out a scene for a group project at school. Y'all remember how you used to do it at school? Y'all break them up, y'all break into groups, and y'all would do like little reenactments, stuff here and there, basically stuff that involved you stepping outside of who you are and stepping into a different character. And you know, it could be for whatever the reason, for theatrical reasons, for historical reasons, etc. You name it. So yeah, and for the most part, I've been a shy, quiet, hella introverted guy all my life. I still am shy today, though not as shy as I was way back then. So growing up for me, like I said, with me being quiet and very introverted, a lot of people took that for a weakness and thought that they could just pop off at the mouth, talk to me any kind of way, say whatever they want to me, call me out my name, come at me any kind of way. And there came a point to which I got tired of that shit, and I started fighting, which you can see in the 2 videos prior to this one. So anyhow, I've always been quiet. I wasn't really like a lot of the other guys typically, because I had like a very, very high-pitched feminine voice back then, and I just wasn't as I'm really not sure how to say it. I just wasn't like a lot of other guys. Like, I wasn't that much into sports. I was never obsessing over the latest Air Jordan shoes. Like, I've never been a materialistic person, like, ever. Like, as long as the shoe looks good, as long as it's clean, then hey, I'm okay with it. Though my mama, she makes sure I stay fresh to death. Like, boy, I don't give a damn whether you're a shoe person or not. You are going to look good, and you're going to look your fucking best. And I did. And my mother, she always made sure that I looked my best. And for that, I will forever appreciate her. That's just one of many reasons why my mother is the best mother. So, and like, I feel like because of that quietness, a a lot of the guys assumed that I wasn't as like tough as they were. So I was like, so even though I was like very quiet into myself, I was like ostracized because of that by a lot of guys. And as a result, I ended up clicking and having a lot more female friends than I do male friends. And still today, I still to this day have a lot more female than male friends. And of course I had, yeah, okay guys, so the camera cut out for that part. Now back to what I was saying, yes, and of course I still had moments where I was ostracized by other females. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that I wasn't ostracized by females, because I was. It was just, excuse me, yeah, saw a bug flying around, my bad. Yeah, I saw a bug flying around for a second, so yeah. Anyway, yeah, I was still ostracized by females. It just was not like, they just did not ostracize me as bad as the boys did. The girls did not give me as much grief as the boys did. And of course, I was naturally inclined to click and get with the people who didn't give me a whole bunch of grief. And of course, you know, growing up, and because I was so quiet, a lot of people thought that they could just be slick and disrespectful, pop off at the mouth, talk to me any kind of way, say whatever they want to me, call me out of my name, and come at me any kind of way, and that was just not the case. And like, I'm reserved. That does not mean that I do not have a breaking point, because I do. Like, the one thing I will say about us Leos is that we are masters at maintaining our composure, even when we've been pushed way past our breaking points. And because we're so good at that, what a lot of people fail to realize is that there will come a time when we will snap and we will let go. And when we get to that point, it's not going to be pretty. So, and like, that hardened me, and it, like, that hardened me, and it made me, like, I was already naturally standoffish by nature, so that made me even more standoffish and way more guarded. And looking back on it now, I'm realizing that how that, along with other issues that I'm not going to get into, combined, how that affected me in ways that I wasn't even aware of at that time. Though, as I mature, I'm learning. Like, it's one of those things where you, like, mature and you look back and you're just reflecting. You know how you be in your moments reflecting every now and then. Pardon me. So you know how it's just one of those moments where you just be reflecting on, like, your adolescence and things like that, and like what you could have done differently, or what you felt you could have done differently, and what you should have done differently, and how it may or may not have affected and turned the tides of where you are now. And like, looking back on certain things, like, I don't like how I allowed it to affect me negatively, because at the time I was unaware of how to deal with certain emotions, or apologize. It's a loud vehicle coming down the road. So at the time, or at those times, I was not sure how to handle those emotions, and I didn't manage them well, or I would not deal with them at all and bury them. And I'm I'm still dealing with the consequences of burying those emotions and not dealing with them properly. So I'm still healing from a lot of the damage, mental and emotional, that being ostracized at that young age comes with. And I'm grateful that I'm handling it now instead of letting it fester when I'm in my like late 20s and 30s and 40s. I've realized, I recognized the unhealthy patterns and habits that I had back then as a coping mechanism, and I'm like, yo, that's not right. This happened because of this, that, and the third, and I'm healing from it, and I'm glad I am. And at times, and also at other times, I don't like how it just made me too harsh and too cold because I was so guarded, and I really didn't want to risk having any more mental or emotional trauma from anyone or from anything. And that concludes today's video, guys. Thank you for joining me. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit that like button. It's free. Also hit that notification bell so you'll be notified anytime I upload a new video to YouTube. This was just a brief overview of me. I'll get into more specific details about certain things in future videos. So may you experience your life full of abundance and bliss. I love you all, my aficionados, and also go check out my podcast, Sidebar with Sunny.